Hello again from my front porch. We're having a storm here. A real genuine Iowa thunderstorm. Here, right on cue. I think this time I may have to list God as a guest on my show. But yeah, this is a big one too. It's coming in from the north. It spreads across on the radar. It spreads across almost the whole state, and it's coming down like this big, massive wave down across. Ain't nobody escaping it. And you see those flashes? See, that's lightning in the thunderstorm, and it's coming through, and it's dark and windy, and yeah. Anyway, you get the idea. You're familiar with the concept of thunderstorms, but I wanted to, well, first of all, I just wanted to share it with you because this is one of the joys of having the enclosed porch. See, the enclosed porch allows me to be able to watch the storm without getting all wet. See, isn't that awesome? Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, if there's a storm, why are you not in better protected area? Why are you, ooh, that was a bright one. I wish I still had the camera pointing that way. But you were going to hear the boom on that one any moment now, I'm sure. Yeah, that's a good one. See, this is why I'm out here, because this is fun. Ooh, wow, wow, rumble, sonic boom afterward. That was good. Anyway, sorry. See, this is why I'm out here, because this is kind of fun, and this is why I said why I like my enclosed little porch here, because on a night like this, or a time where there's a storm like this, I can set it. Now, if it was a tornado, I don't know that I'd be sitting out here as much because, you know, being surrounded by glass windows, probably not the smartest idea. But right now here for this thunderstorm, it's not a big deal. And I like the sound of rain. I really do. I really like the smell, the freshness of it. But yeah, this is cool. I was fortunate enough that even though I work way on the south side of Des Moines, I hurried home when I saw it on the radar. I hurried home so that I got caught in just a little bit of rain for a few blocks getting to my house, but nothing really significant. And I was already in the house by the time it really opened up and started to unleash like it's doing now. Ooh, that was really bright. Woohoo! Yow! But you know, as interesting and as exciting and as fun as it is to enjoy a storm like this, I got to thinking about how the only reason that this is enjoyable is because I'm sitting here nice and dry and basically safe inside my front porch. I have this great view of the storm, but I'm not having to be out in it. I'm not having to deal with it. I'm not having to endure it. But there are people, not just driving, but when I was hurrying home in my car, I passed people who were on the sidewalks walking, who were hustling to get into homes or into shops, or who just got off on a bus or waiting for a bus to pick them up. Anyway, people that are out dealing with this. There were even some construction people, some road repair people that were fighting it out, that we're sticking it out, but I'm sure by now they've let up. But I mean, there's no way they're avoiding getting soaked and drenched and wind blown and all this. So they're out in the storm having to deal with it. And I really got to thinking about that. And I thought, there's a really interesting life parallel there about dealing with storms. Because, when you know someone who is going through a storm, it's like you're sitting here in the porch and you're looking out at the storm someone else has to deal with. You're not having to deal with it because you're safe in here. You're nice and dry and cozy, and out there is the storm. And we see people out there and we want to give them advice. We want to say, hey, get in out of the rain. You need to get out of the storm. You know what? You should have an umbrella. Now, these are all things they know. We see somebody going through a storm and we want to give them advice. We want to tell them how they should deal with their storm from our comfy, cozy spot outside their storm. And yet, when the tables are turned, when we are the ones drenched out in the storm, when we're the ones that are scared because some big bolt of lightning just crashed to a tree very close to where we're standing, or whatever the situation is, when we're dealing with the storm firsthand, it's very serious, it's very important, and we want everybody else to stop and take notice. We want people to help. We want people to empathize with the suffering that we have with the storm that we're facing. And it just occurred to me how selfish that really is. Because, you know, theoretically, in my rush to get home, I could have stopped and helped somebody that I saw scrambling on the side of the road. I wasn't in that big of a hurry to get home, and it's not like I'm going to melt if I got a little bit caught in the rain walking from my garage to my house. It's not very far. But, you know, maybe I should have stopped and helped, offered to give somebody a ride or something so they didn't have to weather the storm on their own like that. But I didn't. I was focused on myself, on getting to my destination, keeping myself comfortable, keeping myself free of the storm, instead of really noticing, observing that person is in the storm, and I need to do more than just give them advice on what they should have done to avoid being in that situation. I should have tried to help. I should have extended what I could do. Now, I couldn't stop the storm for them. I couldn't make their storm go away, but I could have helped them endure it. I could have helped them deal with it, but I didn't. Instead, I just raced on to my house. Well, again, in the example of real life scenarios, how many times do we see people dealing with storms? Sometimes they'll even post information about them on Facebook. I don't necessarily agree with posting all your storms on Facebook, but some people, ooh, that was another nice one. But some, oh, and I think I might hear some sirens. No, just another boomer. But like I was saying, you know, there are people that post their issues on Facebook, or they'll just verbalize them to us. And how many times do we default to the whole, wow, you know, I'm thinking about you, I'm praying for you, and I'm not one of those people who dismisses thoughts and prayer. I think if you legitimately are praying for someone, I think there's some power to that. I believe that there's something to that. So if you try to, these are deaf ears if you're gonna dismiss and mock the whole thoughts and prayers thing. However, there are a lot of people that say they're gonna give you you're in my thoughts and prayers, who actually aren't doing any praying at all. And so in that case, it's just a phrase and it means nothing. It'd be kind of like me driving by somebody in this rainstorm and saying, hey, try to stay dry. Stupid. That's dumb. What's the point in even saying it? Because it's not helping at all. What would have helped is to stop and say, open the door and say, hey, climb on in. Let me give you a ride. How far are you going? And when I know somebody personally who's weathering a storm, I need to do more than just comment on their Facebook and say, wow, that really sucks. That's bad. I'm sorry you're going through it. Hope it gets better for you. Good luck. Keep me posted. What good does that do? Now, it may help them to know that I'm giving moral support, and maybe that's what they needed. Maybe that's a value. But maybe they're in the storm and they're soaked and they're drenched and they're tired and they're exhausted, and just knowing somebody cares makes them feel a little better, but it still doesn't help them in the storm. So I know I'm getting all deep and philosophical about this particular little thunderstorm, but it really struck me when I was coming home, this whole concept of how my reactions in this storm are parallel to how we often react to the storms of people around us. And we need to show more compassion. We need to be more considerate, be more thoughtful. So that's my challenge on how to deal with the storms. Now, it's kind of died off a bit here at the moment, but as I recall looking at the radar, it said that there were going to be some waves. So this is kind of like the Iowa thunderstorm version of the eye of the hurricane, I think. I'm sure there's going to be more. I won't make you suffer through more of the storm. I'm going to watch more of it. That's going to be cool. But I want to challenge you to join me in feeling challenged that not this kind of storm, but personal storms that we encounter from people that we know, let's do what we can to try to help people in their storm, so that when we are facing a storm, people will want to help us too. You know, it's that old golden rule thing. It's pretty smart. Ooh, another big lightning bolt. All right, with that, and this deep philosophical one, I will let you go. And I'll see you next time. Woo. From my front porch.